now that we have the Apache web server running, let's improve it a little bit by adding PHP, the PHP scripting language, so that we can do some server-side scripting with PHP. So what I'll do is I'll do a sudo app-get update to start with. Then what I'll do is type clear, and then we'll do a sudo apt-get install PHP 5, and then we're going to put a space and we'll add a second, the lib Apache 2 mod -php 5. So sudo apt-get install PHP 5 and lib Apache 2 -mod -php 5. We'll hit enter, and it says, do you want to do this? We'll type Y and hit enter. Okay, looks like it was done. Now that it's done, I'm going to type clear once again, and then I'm going to restart the Apache web server. So we'll do a sudo root etc init.d Apache 2 restart. Okay, so we restarted the Apache 2 web server. Now we need to test out to see if PHP is indeed running. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a quick file. So I'll do a sudo touch var root var dub, and we're going to call this test.php. And what this is going to do is it's just going to create a blank document inside of our www folder called test.php. So I'm going to do that to start with. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit it. So we'll do a sudo nano var dub test.php to open it up in a text editor. So now that we have our text editor open, we're going to put in just one command. Alright, there it is. Okay, PHP, and we're going to call the PHP info function, which will give us information about our PHP install and the default attributes. Okay, so there it is, PHP info. Alright, I'm going to save this by doing Control X on the keyboard, and then being Y for save, and then enter to save what we have at test.php. Alright, there it is. So that's done. So now all we have to do is go to our web browser. So I have my home page opened up in my web browser here. Refresh it just to make sure it's still there. And all I have to do is just type a / test.php and hit enter. And if we see this, then we know that PHP is installed and working, and it's working with the Apache web server. This page is all of the information about the PHP install and everything that's running in it, the Apache environment, all of this. Now, of course, you do not want to leave a file like this on your web server, because this file on a public web server is considered a security risk, because you're letting everybody know the types of settings that your server has in regards to PHP and what they could possibly take advantage of. This is just for testing to see if it works, and then what we're going to do is we would remove this file after we're done testing it. Okay, Another thing that I wanted to mention is this. I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to do a list long of our var dub folder. And you can see in there we've got the index.html file and the test.php file. And you can see that the permissions are read, write, no execute, and then read, and then read. So these permissions amount to a 6 here, a 4 here, and a 4 here. Read, write, read, read. These are the permissions you want for files inside of your Apache web server. This gives the owner the ability to read and write the files. It gives the group the ability to read, and the public the ability to read, but not to alter, not to write, and also not to execute, which would be essentially the ability to execute would allow it almost to run like a program. So anyway, these are the proper permissions for files for web pages inside your web server, and that's what we did. We listed long inside of the root var dub folder to take a look at the permissions on those files. All right, PHP is installed. Next is installing MySQL and then PHP MyAdmin.